This is Tasha. I am back with another video. Thank you guys so much for stopping into my channel today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Really like the video. That helps my video become more discoverable for other people and pop up on your timeline and your newsfeed for YouTube. So hit the thumbs up button. It costs you nothing, just one little click. All right. So we are back with another episode of Married at First Sight, and what is slowly becoming like the Chris show, I guess. At this point, while he's getting on my nerves, it's like the major thing that's entertaining on this show. All the other couples are low-key a little bit boring. Hate to say it, but it is what it is. So a lot was going on this week, so let's get right into the episode. So we are now at day 3 of marriage, and it opens with Chris and Paige, and they are going through a whole situation. It's like, has it been 3 days, or has it been 3 years, or 13 years, or 30 years? Because, like, this is too much. Too fast. But it opens with the episode opening, and basically Chris is talking to the producers, and it's like going back and forth. Have you told her? Have you told her? I don't want to tell her. I don't know what to say. And we all know what it is. So it's like at this point, it's just a song and dance until it's blurted out on TV, because we all know already what this big secret was going to be. But it basically just goes back and forth, and then they show us 2 hours later what is going on. And I'm just like, I'm so confused, because how are you afraid to tell her this, but you ain't afraid to tell your homegirl basically she ain't attractive to her face? Oh, okay. So we see all the couples wake up for the first morning in Vegas. Claire and Ryan are first to get up and ready to get dressed and go play with the dolphins. I want to do this so bad. Swimming with the dolphins is on a bucket list for me. So I can't wait till I can go somewhere and check that off, because it looks like so much fun. So I want to do that. But what is going on with Claire's hair? I don't know if it's just me, but I know she bleaches her hair, because I believe in one episode we did like see her roots, and I was just like, girl, just let the roots be, because you forcing this blonde, it ain't cute. The hair and the makeup, I always feel like her face and her neck and shoulders and everything are always two different tones. I just want her to get it together. I hope, is it the lighting, or is it just that's the way she looks? I don't know, but let's work on that, okay? Virginia and Eric are on the way to the pool, and basically they show her putting on makeup and getting ready to curl her hair to go to the pool. So they have a discussion about, their differences. And again, they talk about, age, and how, she's not on time. She likes to do this stuff. He likes to do that stuff. And they keep doing the same song and dance that basically is, it won't be an issue as long as it don't interfere with their marriage. And again, how is this not going to interfere with the marriage? I don't get it. But we will continue to see how this is going to play out. But they do show that Eric was kind of able to pick up on the friction between Paige and Chris, because they mentioned it, and I'm like, surprise, surprise. Everybody can see it. But somehow the experts totally missed that he was going to be trash for this show. Let's move on. We see that Chris and Paige are eating breakfast, and it's awkward AF. Chris is a past pastor, as we learn, and he didn't even want to say grace over his breakfast. Like, where they do that at? You always bless the food, sir. What you doing? God, he get on my nerves. Anyway, he is acting shady AF and is being so dramatic in this scene about he just found out some devastating news, and oh my gosh, it's just so crazy, and he's basically playing up all the dramatics. And of course, any person is going to be like, so what is going on? What do you need to tell me? Especially now that I am married to you, I'm going to need to know what's happening here, okay? So he then says, after all that, oh, it don't matter. Excuse me, sir? You gonna do all these dramatics, and when you got me hyped up and I want to know what's happening, you gonna tell me it doesn't matter, don't worry about it? Oh no, you gonna tell me what's going on today. This here day, you gonna tell me what's popping, okay? Because you got me involved in this nonsense now that I done married you. So what is the problem? Basic. And then And then the thing that pisses me off is he does all that, and then he's like, "So when we going to the pool?" As if he didn't just do all of this talking, like he has some huge news to tell her, and just gonna be like, "So let's go ahead to the pool and do some dog paddling." No, 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 no. Stop gaslighting her, Chris. This is making me so upset. I cannot even stand to look at him. I really can't. But Paige is really starting to get on my nerves because I understand being religious. I am religious. I love me some God. We are homeboys and homegirls. I get it. But, but, God ain't raised no fool over here, okay? No, 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 no. I hated that she wants this so bad that she's going to default to being a Christian and God ordaining this over everything else that's happening. That's going to be her default. And I have a problem with that. It is getting on my nerves because she is basically putting her emotional and mental health at risk, which we know God don't want us to have no crazy mind. Girl, no, he don't want nobody treating us crazy. So why do you think he puts you in this situation, but not maybe putting you in this situation to teach you a lesson for you to get out now and don't stick around and waste your time? Okay, but anyway, this was not God. This was the experts setting you up for failure. Let us move along. We see that Vincent's grandmother is doing better, so it looks like he'll be able to stick around in Vegas with his boo. We see a little bit of Brianna's bossy side coming up because she basically asks him, kind of, what kind of house would you want? And then when he says it, she's like, well, what if I want this? And I was like, all right, Brianna, chill, girl. Don't ask him. And then when he give you a response, try to then say something else that's the opposite of what he said. Just let it play out. You asked him, let him answer, let it go. Okay. Reel in being the boss. I get it, but let's reel it in. They discuss having children. He wants kids in the next couple years. She's like, maybe the next 3 or 4. And it's a little bit too soon to be discussing that anyway, but they seem like they'll be easily be able to come to terms on what that looks like. So then we go back to toxic Paige and Chris. She goes back to approach him, and he still says he can't tell her whatever this secret is. He can't tell her, but of course he's told the producers. This guy, he's an asshole to infinity and beyond. Like I can't even. I don't even think I've seen anything like him on TV before, and every time you think it can't get any worse, it then does. And then after all of this dramatics, again, she's like, "You've told everybody else, you because all the producers now know." The producers are like, Paige is like, "Tell me what's going on." The producers are saying, "I can't tell you. He has to tell you. He doesn't want to tell us." So at this point, she's like, "WTF? Tell me somebody what is going on." So then he asks her, "Do you want to talk about it?" Chris, what you think? She been asking what's going on all this time. What do you think? You think she been asking because she don't want to talk about it? Yes, she wants to talk about it. So she says yes. He takes her, grabs her by the arm, takes her in the bathroom. He has to turn on the shower. He has to turn on the faucet and ask her to remove her mic as if he's not on a TV show. And we will find out eventually because, hello, the TV show's about you get married at first sight and following you around for the next 8 weeks of your marriage. So we will know what's going on. Hello. So we can't hear anything, but we already know what's going on. So he comes out the bathroom acting a little distraught, and then the producers ask how she's doing, and he's like, she's distraught, and I'm like, woo, child, okay. We see Bourne, Haley, and Jacob eating lunch. Claire and Ryan then meet with the dolphins. It's super cute, and dolphins are so cute. I can't wait to do that, but they don't get to swim with them. Mm. They talk about having kids, what they want to name them, what they want for their kids, what they want in terms of religion. Because as we know, Clara is not as religious, but Ryan is, and they still seem to be very much so on the opposite pages. Ryan is like he for sure wants his kids to grow up in church. Clara, she seems to be, I'm kind of okay with that, but I also don't want to push, Anything, kind of let them discover on their own. You say that, but I don't get the vibe that you would be okay with raising them completely in the church, in the sense that Ryan and his family, I'm sure, is thinking. So, again, that is a big deal. I'm going to need them to figure out what they're going to do or just not be together, because that's a non negotiable. Usually, religion is non negotiable. So we see Paige meeting up with Brianna for some girl talk, of course, because she got to spill the tea and tell her what's going on. So she finally shares the news, and this is the first time we hear on the show that Chris' ex fiance is pregnant. At the same time, Chris is meeting with Vincent, and it's surprising that he's able to share this news so easy with Vincent. Although we had to go through this whole song and dance with him telling Paige, but he's able to kind of just blur it out when it comes to Vincent, and I'm like, okay, and that's how I know you just playing it up and being dramatic just for the hell of it. Oh, where are the experts? You can't tell me the experts don't know what's going on when the producers are here. The producers can call up the experts and tell them what is going on, and you can intervene in a video chat. Stop it. It's getting on my nerves. So as Paige is talking to Brianna, they start to kind of talk about the timeline of him kind of saying him and his ex fiance got out the relationship, and when he called out the engagement, and then now how far along pregnant she is because she doesn't know at this time. He says he called it off in May, but I believe that they have sex after that time, obviously. Vincent then asks if they were intimate, as in him and Paige, and he says yes. The first night, the second morning, and the second night. When he says that, because he said it real quick and kind of under his breath, and I'm like, wait a minute, did he just say that? So, sis, Paige, you telling me after that first morning when he went MIA and came back and then told you he basically didn't find you attractive, that wasn't enough for you, and you still slept with him again that night? That's what we doing. That's what we doing. Oh, girl, you're not invested enough for all this drama. It's only been 3 days. It is not enough time and enough history there to be putting up with all this nonsense. I'm just I'm so conflicted because I want to feel sorry for her, but on the other hand, I don't. She then says that, God doesn't want us to live in this world alone. And again, I have to roll my eyes because you cannot pick and choose pieces of the Bible that you want to apply to your situation. No, I don't think God wants us to live alone. But do you think that God wants us just to be with somebody just for the sake of not being alone, even if you aren't happy, even if this person is not for you, even if this person gaslights you all the time? Do you think God wants that for you too, Paige? No. Yeah, I can't. I can't. But I'm so happy that as they're talking, Brianna is like really trying to talk some sense into Paige and tell her, this may not sound, right or the perfect thing to say, but you have to focus on you. You cannot focus on what it is that he wants or he needs. You need to see what you want for yourself. And I 100% agree. If there's any time to be selfish, now is the time. Now is the time. So Vincent and Brianna get back together, and of course, as all couples do, once they have found out the tea, they talk to each other about it and say, "What the hell is going on?" So they talk about, what's going on and how, they feel bad about it. And I now hate that now this situation has, infiltrated kind of their honeymoon, and put this thought in their mind that they have to kind of think about this and think about what's going on with them and think about how Paige is doing when they should be getting to know each other and focusing on themselves. So I hate that now they have to deal with it, and of course ultimately all the couples will have to deal with it, and it's just it sucks all the way around. Brianna and Vincent are basically on the same page. It was like, if this is happening, we dipping out. And Brianna basically says straight up, I hope Paige leaves. And I agree 1,000,000%. Eric and Virginia enjoy some time poolside. And of course, Eric says, what is missing? And Virginia says, the alcohol. Whew. Girl, Daddy Eric don't feel like babysitting you tonight. Just stop with all the drinking. But they continue to discuss their differences as they get in the pool, especially as relates to their age. And it seems like every time I see them, it just gets more awkward. Like them being together, it's just dad, daughter, big brother, little sister, friends since elementary school. It's just something off about the relationship that is just not clicking between the two of them. Eric then basically says he has a jealousy problem essentially because he doesn't think girls and guys can be just friends. And of course, that's something that Virginia definitely does not care for because she grew up with a bunch of brothers and she has a lot of guy friends. So she's like, I don't know what you want me to do with that information, but I don't agree. So Pilot Boy, Party Girl, I don't think they're gonna make it. So all the couples go out to dinner, and we see kind of all of them go eat their own little kind of one-on-one, having their first date essentially. So Clara and Ryan go first. We basically learn Clara is a slob. She doesn't like to clean up behind herself. She doesn't like to do dishes. And Clara, girl, at a certain age, that's just nasty. That's just nasty. Clean up after yourself. Brianna and Vincent, they're just such a cute little couple. I mean, they complement each other's looks. They are just so cute. I really do love them. But they are having dinner by the pool and it's so cute. And they are obviously connecting. They're, playing footsie. And I'm just like, what is going on? And then we find out they have done the do, honey, which is why everybody is all glowy in this situation. They done got it in. High five, good for you, girl. And they seem to be both very pleased. I can read between the lines. Haley and Jacob, they go to dinner at a Shark Reef Aquarium, which I thought was really cool. So next time I go to Vegas, I'm putting that on my list because I would love to have dinner there. It looks like such a treat. Jacob talks about the craziest things that he's done. Haley talks about her first real serious relationship. And that's basically as interesting as their conversation got. They do share a kiss, and it seems like Haley is, warming up to her hubby just a little bit. We'll see how that plays out. But it looked like, they starting to like each other. Chris and Paige go to dinner, and they show up separately. Paige basically says she's checked out at the moment, but I'm like, sis, you still here? You still showed up for the dinner, so how checked out are you? Chris comes to the table looking like an idiot and asks what's on her mind. What do you think is on her mind? Paige asks how far along the ex is and when was the last time they saw each other. So he says that she's 6 weeks along, and the last time they saw each other was 6 weeks ago because I think he said her father passed away, so I guess that was a time to get in her draws. Funeral, people sad, people get emotional. I guess it's time to have sex when that happens. Okay. But I'm sure doing this process is longer than 6 weeks. I'm sure between you filling out an application, going through interviews, them trying to pick you, I'm sure that process is longer than 6 weeks. So you couldn't even have the decency of not screwing anybody while you're going through the process. Just in the event you get picked, you don't have no baggage. Yeah. Okay. She says she doesn't know what she's going to do. He gives a half-ass apology that I don't believe. He basically asks her if she had to make a decision today. She says that she would walk away. And I'm like, well, like Nike said, just do it, leave. That simple. But then he says he's in this marriage for the long haul. And I'm like, but how, Sway? He feels that she is just his queen. She's his wife. She comes before anybody that's, mama, sister, brother, cousin, dog, baby. It ain't funny. And again, I'm like, you just told her what, like 48 hours ago, less than that probably, that you ain't really feeling her, but now she's your queen. You love her oh so much. She comes before everybody else in the world. Chris, please stop playing with this girl. And of course, the minute he starts saying all these things, you can see Paige, her demeanor changes. She starts to get a little, light, and she's like, oh, it's so sweet. And I'm like, he's such an asshole. Stop it. Stop it. But she is clearly falling for it. She wants this so bad. She's willing to hurt herself in the process. That's basically what I have resolved to. Christianity does not mean stupidity, Paige. I'm going to need you to figure out the difference and figure it out fast. But as he's going through all that, I can basically see this smirk on his face, and the smirk tells it all. It's like, yep, I got her. She gonna stick through this. I'm gonna have her by my side. I ain't gonna have to be embarrassed on TV, although he's doing a great job of embarrassing himself. But She's going right along with it. And I'm sure her panties basically came off when they got back to the room that night as well. Eric and Virginia go out to dinner, and again, I'm really starting to just not like them. They just get on my nerves together. Separately, I can deal with them together, not so much. But I think it's because I realize everything seems to be so physical with them. Like, oh, they want to hug, they want to touch, they want to kiss, they want to lay, they want to do all this stuff together. But whenever they have any type of conversation, things ain't clicking. They just over here with it. It just don't go. So I'm like, y'all just can't, hug and kiss and sex and whatever else throughout this entire marriage. So if the conversation ain't popping, how is this gonna work? So, to kind of wrap up this episode, all the couples go out together and just hang out a bit at the end. So, basically, just trying to kind of like last season when they started rating marriages and things like that at that conversation. It's kind of mimicking that same situation here. So, basically, all the couples are saying, how well things are going. And every time a couple says how well things are going, the camera pans to Paige and Chris because we know as viewers, things ain't going so hot. So, they kind of want us to see their reaction to everybody else saying things are going good. Petty camera people. Petty. So, of course, Paige then shares when it gets to them that things have been challenging. And then her and Chris kind of look at each other and go back and forth and like, you gonna say something, you gonna say no, you gonna say something, you gonna say something, you gonna say something. Just say something. It's awkward. Stop making it awkward for everybody. So he eventually says that he's gonna be a baby daddy, and basically everybody's face is our face. Ugh. So what y'all gonna do? And here goes Paige yet again, bringing up God. And if she bring up my God, my sweet baby Jesus, my Lord and Savior, one more time up in this nonsense, we gonna have a problem, Paige, because God ain't ordained this nonsense. He did not. I'm firm in that. He did not. But Clara is spot on. Clara was giving me everything in this situation because she's like, I would be gone. And she's looking at Paige and she's like, this is Stockholm Syndrome. And I said, bingo, Clara. That's exactly what this is right now. And again, I'm finding it hard to continue to feel sorry for Paige because she continues to make excuses and replace religion with common sense. And I am not here for it. And I love religion and I love my Jesus, but I'm not here for this. What she's doing, I'm not here for it. So Chris, of course, starts to be a little whiny baby because everybody is so supportive of Paige, and he's like, "Oh, they're supportive of Paige, but they're not really supportive of us because you are the problem. That's why." So then he whispers something in Paige's ear, and then he gets up and walks away. And of course, everybody's looking like, "What? You just not gonna say no? You just gonna get up and walk away?" Okay, toddler. All right. So, um, after he does that, it pans back to her. Paige talks to the team a little bit, and she's like, "All right, I'm gonna go check on him." She leaves and chases after him yet again while he's having another moment and he's crying and having a fit. And I'm just like, I am over it. I am ready to jump through my TV and strangle Chris myself. This is so out of pocket. This is getting out of control. It is starting to become very frustrating to watch at this point. And we are only on episode 5. That is it. And we still got, Lord, how many other episodes to go. And we only on day 3 of the marriage. Oh my God. So they started talking about intimacy with all the couples, and of course started talking about who's been intimate. And Brianna and Vincent was like, hey, we ain't ashamed to say it. And it's so funny that all the other couples who have not been intimate, they all seem to find excuses as to why they haven't been intimate. Oh, we want to just get to know each other, but we don't got no problems in that area. We're doing just fine. We just want to take things slow and I'm looking at all of y'all like, whatever, because if the opportunity arises, each one of y'all will be getting it in. Okay? We know that. Thank you. But Eric and what's his wife's name again? Virginia, her. They end up getting to the little couple function late, so they didn't find out that Chris was gonna be a daddy when everybody else found out. So they had to kind of bring them up to speed. And the first thing that Virginia says, "Well, is it yours?" So funny. And I'm just like, and Chris got mad because he's like, that's disrespectful. That ain't her place. And while I do agree that was kind of out of pocket, I don't care because I don't like Chris. But it is so funny to see him go through this because he tries to come out like being the macho man. You know, he's got so much suave, he got so much charisma, he get the girls, he don't want somebody with him just for his money, and now you ended up being the big crybaby on every episode so far. So Chris, I don't feel sorry for you. I don't care if you are right in any situation. I don't like you, so I don't care. All right. But that was it basically for this episode. So we see next week things heat up even more. And it looks like Chris and Eric are going to get into it or be about to get into it. And I'm here for all of it. While it gets on my nerves, it's entertaining. So be here next week. Same time, same place. Y'all know the drill. Subscribe if you have not already. Please leave your comments below. Let's interact. Let's talk. How did y'all feel this week went? While again, it is entertaining, I'm about sick of this being the Chris show. Like, this is what he wanted and this is what he's getting. So, anyway, I'll catch y'all next week for episode 6. Peace.